for coming. We will have a presentation about image button. And it's a trick I discovered with image button, and it's, from my opinion, it's very powerful to make an amazing, huge interface. Interfaces like having color in very, not everywhere, but in a very discrete, on some parts it's very important for the users. Okay, so let's start. Yeah, I think it's too high, no?
Non, pas du tout. En fait, j'ai pas le retour.
Ah, j'ai l'impression que c'est un peu trop fort.
Je vais toucher.
Yeah. I think it's better now, no? Okay. So it's me. My specific developments, it's a lot of different databases. It's not one main big project, but it's plenty of like 6, 7. So, we have, usually when we do something, we need a getter and a setter. And why toggle? It's because my goal was to reach this, to have a toggle and image button. Because sometimes it's better, to have a checkbox, which is not just a checkbox with some colors and to really highlight. So first, we will see what is an image button very quickly. Why is dynamic buttons, and some example. What is an image button? In the way I use it, so the settings are image button, here you have the default, and all the setting is done to have a button with another effect, click effect, and disable. The top part is to define, name of the button. The second part is to access the image resource. And the third part is to define how many lines and column, row and column. Obviously, my choice is to have lines, more than 4 lines by 1 column, but you can also change it to horizontal way. And that's all the setting. Nothing to say, it's the default for the image button as I use it. So the button will be like that, default, click, over, and disable. So that's the material you have to prepare. Probably you know how it is stored. All those information are stored in the format part of the button. So if you do an object get format, you will have that string. And so you can recognize 1 on 4 for the line and columns, then the path for the resource pictures, and finally, at the end, 240 is just a byte to combine all the checkboxes. So why dynamic button? I think in an interface, it's very important to have very subtle and gentle colors for the user to have some indication, not too hard, but when you need it, it is there. So, for example, when you have a form and you want, it's an add, you have a new record, it's really good to have, like orange and blues. And when it is modified, you will have a green with a check to validate. It's an example. So, to state. Another one is warning indicator. So, somewhere in your form, you will see you're able to place some button, and you will have a gray state, means no warning, nothing to say. And when it is orange, same, if you click on it, it will open a window, you can type a text, and you can explain why this field has some, we are waiting for confirmation of what is the level, things like that. Locked indicator is obvious. So, but some gentle toggle would be, no yes, sometimes better than just a checkbox, or the information gray and green to say on off. So we will look really deeply inside this one, and this one. For that, we need to prepare 2 buttons. In the past, to do what we will do together, in the past you needed to have two buttons in your form and to make one invisible, one visible. But I don't like it. So the thing is, you will have only one button, but if you take the format part, you will see one will be button warning 0, button warning 1. So you just have, the trick is we need to change this. So it could be cool to have a method for that, just to go on that particular part and to change with a number. So you can have a multi-state button, could be 1, 2, with a 2-state, but could be also 10, whatever you want. So that's the first method. We need a set, toggle set. All the three methods is named toggle, read, toggle, set, toggle, toggle. Why toggle? Because I told you that's my goal. So it's a toggle library. For this set method, you will need a pointer to a button and the value to place in it. So here is the method. So as you can see, I will give a pointer to the button and a value. So then button format, object get format. So I will add the string. Then I just look where is the .png. And then on this .png, you will set back the format with the beginning substring of that string till warning, and then you will add a string of value, and then you add the end of .png and so on. That's all. So that's the first. So we'll have a look on that. So you will have a HDI on your USB key, so a database is there. And with that database, you can have a demo basics like this. So the first part is just checkbox. On this checkbox, I just get the value, you know, is button 1, self-depointed. And then you get a pointer to the button. BTN accept is the name of that one. And then each BTN toggle set with a pointer and the value. So if I use it, you know, green and yellow. For is warning, same. And is yes, okay. So that's the first stone. For that, you will be able to do what we were speaking about just before, new record indicator. For the new record indicator, you will have on the button itself, you just have to put this code. So on load, is new, you calculate the value as a boolean or whatever you want, but it's a boolean, is new record the current form table. And then just a toggle set of self, because I am in the button itself, and a num of is new. So a boolean will be converted to 0 and 1. And on click, so it's just accept. What is interesting here is you don't need anything else outside. Everything is on the button, so it's easy to duplicate and to put everywhere. The second one is more tricky, the warning indicator. My client loves it, It's really a cool feature. So you can place 1, 2, here is 3 buttons. All is inside the button, so you just have to duplicate the button, it's okay. And inside the button there is a method, you will find in the HDI, magic warning key. And inside this button, this method will manage onload and unclick. Onload is to prepare the interface to represent what is the value, and unclick is just to manage what you want to do. So you just have to put a pointer to a field, because you need to know, to be able to recover that field just on that particular button. So you need a field, that's all. There is a table for that. I used to put the ID first, then the creation date time operator and modification date time operator, and then you have. Why I put this in a fixed position is because you are able to do some generic And with every table, I need this creation and modification that time on operator. I think it's just obvious. So you can manage it by, a field of number of table, 1, 2, 3 position. So it's easy to do generics. So then, for this particular functionality, I have the number of the table, the number of the field, and the ID record, because I need also to know in which record this information should be addressed. And comment is just a text field, as you see. So you have the two buttons. This method will unload prepare to check if it is gray or orange. So that's a very short view of what is inside this method in reality, but what is interesting us now is to get the pointer field, to know the no table, the no field, and to have the ID. And to have the ID, as I told you, it's just because it's the first field always in all my table. It's just you have to do field of no table, 1, and depoint this, and you have the ID. You get the ID. So then you just have to do a query. Query is no table, no field, ID record. That's all. If it's okay means you have a record, then you will do a toggle set with 1, so it will become orange. If it is 0, it will stay gray. So let's see it in real life. That's the HDI. Demo advanced. So it's a list box with a list of records. And if I open one, so what you can see is that four buttons. So I will click on this one. As you can see, it opens a window to type some comments. And it's a plus in yellow, in orange also, because, on load, I affect the new record. Not sure of the name, a label, so I click plus, and the icon becomes orange. So when the user will open this that record, they know there is something to read for date of events, whatever you want, and it's very easy to duplicate, to put some button everywhere. So once again, okay. Then if I open it, because it's orange, I will see that this is now green, so I'm in modification mode. At the beginning. Another aspect is, okay, we have seen both new record and warning. So now we have our first stone, a setter. But we will see all the methods, because the idea is to also go, because I can set the value in the button, I'm able to keep the value. What is important, what we have seen, it's we don't need any process variable. They were speaking about it, process variable, less you have, better it is. And it is more encapsulated. It means everything is inside the button, the object. I love this kind of way of doing, you can just duplicate and you change a little inside, that's all. You don't have to manage something external. So we will see inside what it is, an example of toggle and some property. Methods. So we have a setter, now we will create a getter, so that's the same system, so you just take the format and you extract where is the number. And to do the toggle, we will give a modulo, just how many buttons we are supposed to circularly turn on it. So, content description is there. So, the toggle set. It is important on what, is it readable? Okay. I think I can, yeah. What is in you know, a comment. It's the original method you will find in the HDI, but because it's supposed, you know, the string is just one character on one specific place, so it manages only 0 to 9. You can have more, so it's not really good. So what is following is to manage more than, to go till 2 digits. I think 2 digits is enough. You don't need to have more than 100 value in the pop-up bar. So it's easy to do. It just, you know, so first, btn format, object get format, to look on the position, same, you know, dot .png. And then, what is added is to calculate the number of digits. So you just have to take the character, the one before, and you will check if it is between 0 and 9. If it is, then you can say it's a double digit number. So then you can manage with number digit, so you will replace 1 or 2 digits in your format. Same for reading. So that's a toggle set. Same for reading. So then toggle read is there. So toggle read is just same, but you get the value and you give it back. And aha, toggle toggle. So toggle toggle is just you read the value in the button. This value will be added 1 on the click, you know, modulo the value you give to the button, and then you put the value back with the button toggle set. That's all. So properties is really easy to use once you have the method. You don't have to think, you know, about substring, how many characters, and it's done. And then, second step, a variable without any variable, so means the value is inside the button. It's very simple, but it's very efficient, you will see that. So, for the demonstration, I'll show you a simple toggle, a modulo n more than 2 value toggle. And in real life, help toggle, we will see, a CatDevRide Pro vidget toggle, and there's warning manager already seen, and historics manager, we will discuss on it. Okay, so then, here is toggle. So, you know the method used is just btn toggle toggle with a value of 2. You have to prepare 2 buttons for sure, a yes and a no. And you know, when you click also, I will just put the visibility of an object on or off. That's all. But it's so easy to, and for some interface, for some important value you display, it's better than just a checkbox. Well, for this also, gray or green. That one is a toggle for 6 values. So you will have value 1, value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 0 again. Okay? So my experience is not good to have more than 3 values in a clip because you have to go through all the 6 circles. So usually it's better to put a pop-up when you have plenty of value, but would be used. So let's see in real life. The help toggle, you know that button, when you launch, you open the form, that button will be set to this button 0. If I click on it, it's just a toggle, so the method, I think I can open it. Yeah. You know, unload toggle set 0 to be sure it is an off state. And unclick toggle toggle, a pointer to the button itself. And 2 value only, so on and off. And based on, then I will have the value is help, is button read 1, then I will set visible all the object named help something. So what you will get is this. And you know what is important? There is no variable. So to know if it is on or off, I just have to take the value inside the button, that's all. Another CatDevRide Pro vidget. So in white lines. I don't know for you, but For my clients, they don't really like the widget vertically made. They prefer an horizontal one. So just to wait for, no, it's available, but just to wait for that, what I have done is to be able to remove, to hide this, or to put it back. So it's just based on the button, and same, there is no variable to know the state on what we have to display. If I have to hide it, I will take the coordinate, take the right value, hide, and extend my view, real view Caterite Pro, to this right. If I want to display it back again, I will take the left of the widget, minus 10, and then put the widget. So, if it is not in modification state, you are not able to click on it. It's disabled. All is in one method, you will see that. If I click on the lock, then I'm able to click on this. If I click on this, you will have that. So same two colors, whatever your icon you want, and everything is inside the button. Just one method to manage complete states of it is modification or not, but there is no variable for that. And usually, you know, it's open. If I uncheck, it's automatically disabled and back to the off state. Warning manager we have seen, but an historic manager is something cool also. So it's a real database for a real client. And usually, I'll show you that the people, I will find the people, they have some invoice. So going to school. And the invoice part, yeah. Okay. So, if I open an invoice, what I will see, it's about, what is important is here, that button. You know, it's gray. If I click on it, yeah, so nothing to do. It's just for historization. What is historization is almost the same as what you have seen for warning manager, but you just put also a pointer to a field. But rather to just store a text, something like that, this method in the same table will store and retrieve all the modification that can happen to that button, that happened to that button with some users. It's very important because some field is like the most important in a database. So if someone change, you know, a state, for example, a violinist playing in an orchestra, they are ranged in category A, B, C, D. Why someone has become from E to B? Who has done that and why, if it's a mistake? You can hit, or you can have a discussion to improve your quality, and it's up to you. But that's the purpose of this. So if I modify this, or this is just the person who have made that reference, I save it, going to the next one, going back. You can see now it is orange. If I click on it, I will see date, time, who, and the old value and new value. So it's simple, it's fully generic. So you can play, it's not given on the HDI, but it's just to give idea of functionality you can do. So if I change the user again, go next and back, now I have two lines. I'm supposed to have two lines. Yeah, strange. Well, it's a demonstration, so it doesn't work. I'm supposed to have two lines, I don't know why. Yeah. Okay, so historic manager. Then, okay, we have three methods. You can do, I hope it gives you envy to develop something with it in your interface. Okay, so what? Then we can go higher, because it's okay, we have basic, very low-level methods. What can we do with it? For me, I use it now everywhere. What I will give you, it's a generic method to manage high-level pop-ups. In your database, usually when you need to categorize, you will have another table for that. But when you know you have some management, or how can you say, méthode de gestion, règle de gestion, rule of management based on a pop-up value, you can't really have a table for that. It's because the value 2 will be specific, like, you know, it's I pay by card, I pay by check. If it is by check, I can give it back to someone. But if it is by card, I can't give it back. So you will have some management. It's not possible to cancel, or it's possible to cancel. So it will be based, you know, on some. So the name is value of authority. So this value can be changed very easily because it is hard-coded inside. For those kind of values, you need a pop-up. So we will speak on it. So how to have a generic pop-up on the button, build dynamic, with icons. How to generate the materials and application in real life everywhere. So, usually, you will have a pop-up. The pop-up is okay, but in some situations, as I told you, it's better to have a colorized button because you know automatically the state of cancel, not sure, reported. For some important information, example for reglement, when someone pays you, it's cool to have, usually the state is, you call for a reglement to have money back. Then when you receive it, it is received. And then when someone in the company will put it in the bank, it is given. So you have 3 states. This is important to have it in colors, because it's just the most important information with the amount. So we will try to do this. That was the goal, to that. What we need, because we will use the 3 generic low-level methods inside the high-level method, we need the materials. So we need the state, it's a state button, so the name is state 0, 2, 1, 2, 3. We will need icons, 0, 1, 2, 3. Then you will place the button in your form. This is that one. Usually I place 0, 1, but because it will be updated on Node, you don't care. So it's my convention. And you will have to say to that generic method where are the icons. For the button, it's obvious because the generic doesn't need to have this. Because inside the button, you won't change the path of the pictures, you will just change the number. So you don't care. If it is the right one on the form, you will just change the number. So no need to have the path for the method. But for the icons, you need it. It's nowhere. So you will just put it in a text variable. So, you know, file, double dot, file, I don't know. You don't need to put it there. It is done inside the method. So you just have to put the first folder separator, on the name of the button, and the generic method will add 0, 1, 2, 3.png. Then, what is also important is to know how many items and labels. So you just have to create an array text. Usually it's interprocessed because it's general in your database, but if you use it just in one particular point, it could be local. So you will give the name for OK, cancel, not sure, reported, as it is there. And that's the method. xBTM, pop-up value, form event to manage on node and on click. Pointer to variable, variable, field, or nil. Because sometimes you will work only without any source of value on destination, just a button, and then to recover the value, you just have to read the button. You will get 1, 2, 3. So you will see it's very powerful. Then self is just the button, because the method is inside the button, and the resource path for the icon, and a pointer to the array with the text. That's all. So as I told you, you put a field or a variable or nil For $3, you put a button or nil. You can also work without button, just to have a pop-up. And you put the icon path. You put here a pointer to an array label, but you can also put a pointer if you don't want to have any labels, just icon. You can put a pointer to a number to know how many items you have to take in account. Unload. What you will do? The method will just update the button with data if the button is not nil. So I will look on the data, take it and set the button with X, btn, toggle set. Unclicked, it's a little more because plenty of things are inside, but it's easy to use. You will see it's one line. So you will take the data, could be for a variable. If it's nil, it will make 0 default. If a button is there, it will take it from the button, because the button will remember the state by itself. You know, taking the value. So that gives you a value. So you can check what is the position. I will display also icon based on the resource path. And I will have also a pointer to an array to display of this. And when you click, you will have back the value to your field or your variable and or in the button. But as an extra, if it is a field, I will check if it's a field for these parameters. If yes, I will check if the table is unlocked, if the record is unlocked, and then I will be able to manage if I have to save in the variable or if I have to beep. Why I did like that? You can just, if it's not, you can modify your form. It's sometimes you say, okay, but when you click, it's beep. But I think to display the pop-up, it's much better because it's like a tooltip. In fact, you will know the value possible, an icon, and a label. So you know for the user, it's like a help. So it's when they will choose one thing inside. If it's not possible to save, then they will have beep. So you have to generate the materials. So good luck, because it's not that easy, to create default, clicked, over, and disable. You have to prepare the material for button and icon. So you can do it yourself with Photoshop. My experience was something like 5 minutes per button. So you have, from my point of view also, you have seen in 4D, it's after 3 to 5 years, an interface is just finished. You have to, redo, change a button, because it's like that, it looks old. So after 2 or 3 times, I really bored to create all the material like that, so I created a tool for that. And that tools propose you to, let's see, yeah. Here it's a project summit. In a project, you have, in the left part, you have banks. So in the banks, you have all those buttons. So you can change. You will find all the buttons you can find in HDI. This is a state button. And on the right, you will define path where to generate the materials. So you can have, if it generates, if something you use everywhere, you can have 20 paths, and it will go to all your database in one click. You just have to click here, and this will be sent, because I choose 1, but 2, 3, will be sent to 1 or 20 destination. And if I open this, for every bank, you have the button. You can drag and drop, just to change, for example, that one. Not sure it's a good idea, but yeah, okay. So you can have plenty of material design icons. You will select, some colors. It's a Google Material Design palette. And then you select for default, click over the disable. And on the right part, you are able to create as many sets you want. On one set, it's all the value for the colors. If it is a button or an icon, if it is the dimension, width, height, and so on. So here in one click, I will generate also 2 sets, the button and the icons. So you just have to click here, and you will see that one will change to something totally... Yeah, we'll take this brush, it's better. Yeah, it's more visible. Okay, so let's generate all of this for the state labels. And it's done. Let's have a look on the material if you want. This one, open in Finder, submit HDI. Voilà, this is the button generated. So you will have all of this. So then, here we are. So now let's see some application everywhere. So HDI state, so that's one flow and flow. That one. We come back. So on the demo basics, I'll already shown you this pop-up. It's just made in one line. Here it is written. So XBTN pop-up val, form event, sorry, it is in French here. Okay, but it's that easy, you know. Doc. Okay, so on load, because I managed two things together, that's why there are plenty of lines. But what is important is this part, that's all. So you have to set where are the icons, so it's on the root level, icon animal, and then X button pop-up form event, nil pointer, I don't need to store it somewhere, and a pointer to the button, a resource path, and this value has been made somewhere. Something where it is. It is on the start, definition. Yeah. Here. Happen to array, t value, state plus string, so it's just a generation of the label you will use. So, let's see in real life, so in HDI first. If I double click there, I can select in the state, that's all. Okay, cancel, not sure, report, not sure. Now I can't, beep. Beep because I'm not in a modified state, so, okay. And you can see the icon also change. So, here it is, I can save and open it again, okay. This is really cool, you can use it everywhere. And per example, in the database we have seen, that one. I'll show you how I manage, for example, for each people you need to know for the mailing if a letter has come back, if someone is not here anymore. And if same after for emailing. For emailing, so let's see. Click on this. It's one line code. I think. Let's have a look. I'm not sure it works like that. So. Yeah. Area. Okay. So that's a code inside the first button, so it's just one line. Form event, the field, where are the icons, and the labels. That's all. So it works like this. I forgot to tell you, if you put something in the index 0 of an array, you put some text, it will be displayed here with help. So just to explain what it is. So it is a mail for people. So you can change, for whatever you want. So it's not in modification. Okay. So the courier has gone back. So then for emailing, you will have active, inactive, description, complaint, or soft bounce. Hard bounce, you know the difference? It's very important if you are using some SMTP to send a mass mail, it's very important to manage this because what is a soft bounce? It's a mail address which exists, but you give a full box message error. So what it means, probably it's not used anymore email. Hard bounce means there are no email with this, it doesn't exist. And invalid means even the mail is not correct. So, for example, if here I remove the com, yeah, it becomes red and it's automatically gone to invalid. So that's to manage emailing. And for the newsletter, you don't need to manage, hard boots or good because it's already done for emailing. So it's supposed to be the same. So for newsletter, it's active, inactive, desubscription, and complaint. That's all. So you can see it's everywhere. Let's see for example here, you have, if it is a week or weekend or a day-based courses, what is a scholarity full of half. So you can put the levels. Okay, then what is missing? If we have a pop-up, we can select a value. Usually what we need when you have an interface to retrieve. So we want to query people with specific states. When you need that, you need another state for idle. To search, to filter in this box, and so on. It's not that easy to do, you know that probably. When you have a pop-up, you need to add, because the pop-up could be set to 0, but can't be set again to 0 if you change the value. So you are not able, to cancel, you have to go back out from your research query form and then open it again. Or you place this. Now, what I will do, I will place a button in a list box, just to have filter. This button I want just to display the same state element, and I will add hidden, so it is managed with the method. You will see that. Like this. First, you have to create the material to add just one more button. I decided to put it at the end. Why? Because you don't have to shift all the value, it's just there. And when the value is one more than the size of the array labels, then it is hidden. So you manage for the icons, and you just have, so you have this, you manage for button, extra button and icon, then you just have to add this, and the label you type will go there, will be displayed on, that's all. So after that, you will need to get the value to know on your filter part, on your code, you will need to know if it is on or off, idle or not idle, or if you have to do the query or not. So for that, I just created a method, because it's better than to have 3-4 lines, it's better to have one. So you just have to create your long int for state, your boolean for isState. So then isState, this method, you have to pass the button name to have a pointer. Then your array, just to know how many elements are there, to know if it is the last +1, then you know it's a idle state. So it will give you true or false and the state value. So then to use it in your loop, in the list box to manage the array for the mask of lines in a list box, what you will have to do is just to, if is states, then active line is your pointer to your column, the line equals state. If it is not enabled, it is idle, then you do nothing. I recommend you to have a look on the FWB routine, because it's a way to manage this box I like, so you can have a look. It's fully generic, there is no variable, no process variable, it's just name, and you create all the pointer you need, so you can have a look on this. But to do that, just to explain this idle part, I'll show you. So then, let's go to now, that one. Okay, so then I close that record. Then, here, as you can see, it is automatically set to the 5th value because we have 0 to 4, it's for the real value, and then you have idle added. When I click on not sure, poof, and in not sure I want the square. Okay, that's all, and you can go back to idle. To do that, I even do not need any variable, because I told you when you select this, just the button will be changed. So when I will need it in the part where I have to filter, I just have to read before what the value is, the button with one of the 3 letters, the getter. So let's have a look. Check, check, check. Form. It's there. Yeah. So here, as I told you, there is the var for the value is not used, you know, it's just a local no one. Even this, I can just put a point like this. Eternal. You have to create it somewhere in your code, you can use everywhere, so it's ready for you. But because it's not done, save pointer, that's all. And here, you don't need any more of this. Yeah. So I don't use the value. The value will be only in the button. Then I will call filter, if the value change, and in the filter part, as I explained, you have a X button proper filter on state. So this will get the value from the button and set state and set is state if it's not hidden. So then you can use it somewhere below here. If it is state, then is active line will be your column pointer, just the equal state. So you have a boolean, and so you put the boolean in the mask, you know, for this box. So that's all. So it works like that. Ah oui, okay, yeah. So it doesn't work with the nil. I don't know why. So, but you can do it, I'm sure. Probably done too quickly. Okay. We'll see another example. As we have seen, if for mail, email, and newsletters, same here. And this box is, yeah, same. You will find who has returned from mail. Ah, no one, okay. Who is active, who is inactive. Ah, no one, okay. Why not? Ah, yes, okay, yeah, I know why, okay. I was working on a sub-selection. So, who is, back, and with an emailing of this inscription. Yeah, it exists. So, you can, there is no variable. That's what I like. Then, I think time is almost over. So, there is a component. As it is written, it's a bonus, so I have no time to explain it. I was too brave, I didn't realize you need time for that. So you can have a look, but just in few words, why a component, you will have a look, but I really love the component way of 4D, because you can, create some software architecture which will be reflected everywhere. That's why I really love to work in really low level. It gives you a flavor, on your database. So then, for high-level component, you will see an example with this is button, and in this component, the button will be modified by these 3 methods, and you just have to set the value, okay? And then you will be able to display. It's just one moment, and you put some bits, 1 bit, 0, 1, 2, and here you will display in a SVG something cool, based on the same value. You will see also an example how to, let's see, yeah, here, let's see here. The real place you will display SVG is here. You just have to give the width and height. But it's stupid to give it because it's in a list box or it's an object, so you can know what is the size. So for a list box, rather to access this directly, you access that with LB, and you will have to put the pointer of the list box. a pointer of the column. So the list box will give you the height, the width will be given by the columns, and then you will be able to go to that method. All is in the component, and you have the source. And you have the same method for an object, but it's much easier. You directly get the left, right, back, and so on. Here we are. Oh, I hope it was, yeah? I hope it gives you some idea. If you have any questions. It is also important to have your report. Yeah.
What I didn't understand exactly, this icon generator, where do I find it?
Oh, I created myself.
Ah.
Yeah. So, but you can contact me, it's possible to buy it.
Okay.
It's a cool feature. But you know, I'm able now to change some colors for all the generic buttons, like Android button, in 5 minutes. Just you click and it's back to. And there is also a component to manage the colors in Google Material Design, which is much better than the old 4D, you know, indexed palette.
Mm-hmm.
And included is a converter from 4D to MD and MD to 4D. That's all. But you can do by your dirty hand. Do someone had some idea just looking at this to integrate it in your own development? Don't hesitate to send mail, just with a screenshot, just to say what I have done. I will be very happy.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.